so beautiful, man. You can always be grateful, always be happy, always be joyful, always thinking for other people, how the defense drive and create joy and safety for everybody. Because if you allow the opportunity to just keep mirroring behavior, a lot of it's not peace and joy and union. A lot of it's like mirroring misery and confrontation and things like that. And you just gotta be and have the upper hand in terms of like with the mindset and not be on go mode, unless you have to, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of honor in, respecting yourself and protecting yourself, especially someone trying to oppress you. But a lot of times, 99% of the time, it's not of that. Especially in my life, it's not of that. It's more of like, that 1% of you being selfish in which you want to press upon somebody else, or you want to act wild and do certain things. So, I don't mind being a bit antisocial. I don't mind skipping a lot of parties and all the clubs and things like that. Because when I used to pull up, man, I pulled up like royalty. It was like people were magnetized, and I was just having to make sure I spread all the love around in terms of like, I ain't here to take all your guys' ladies and make everybody feel retarded or feel bad or feel left out. But then again, I can't include everybody because that's a lot of babysitting, a lot of, a lot of defense driving and masterminding the whole situation, make sure everybody's safe and good. Then you gotta indulge in what they indulge in because the hours kind of require that type of stuff. So you can't necessarily be embracing everybody. So now I'm just on a solo march, which I don't mind because I ain't tripping over nothing. I ain't wanting nothing. I'm not desiring nothing. I'm not taking nobody's lady. I'm not looking at nobody like as if I need something from them. None of that bullshit. It's all about just recharging yourself and just thinking like, you know what, man, if there's an elder person in need, if there's a child in need, somebody in danger, I'm down for that. I'm down to die for that. I haven't seen my nephew in a long time. I'm pretty much his godfather, but however he's doing, the guy's over 30 years old. He ain't no little kid. And everybody can make their own decisions, you know what I mean? I could go and fall off the map and start doing everything very, very negative and things like that, but nah, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm better, I'm just saying that I'm more purified and composed. But am I the most social person at work? Nah, hell nah. People want to socialize with me, people want to pat me on the back and hug me. I'm stopping them from doing that shit, you know what I mean? Because there's certain things that I don't like to see every day, and I'm working on that myself. But if I have to be there only 3 days a week, I ain't tripping, you know what I mean? Because it ain't really all that like high pressure and type forced to be in that environment the whole time, So, nah, I'm not like, you know what I mean? They really all want to be homies and be tight with me. But I'm refusing that access, you know what I mean? Because, I got my own little focus that I need to do and get real with, So, plus they think I'm their age, man. I ain't their age, you know what I mean? I'm older, but then again, I get a little tired of certain things, that I see, I don't regret nothing, but I feel kind of like, was I that sensitive to the dude that I know he's big ass dude, but he's gay? Homeboy's like, yeah, I see you around. He wanted to shake my hand. I said, skip all that shit, homie. You know what I mean? Like basically, I just fucking abducted him. In terms of like, he don't exist. I don't regret it, but I'm still that way. You know what I mean? Like, other people be happy. Oh, fuck, you know what I mean? Shake his hand. Knuckle up, or even just acknowledge him. I didn't acknowledge the dude. So, see, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? I got my own little things I'm working on. But then again, my mind's always thinking about, what they do amongst each other. and how they can be manipulating kids and stuff like that. That's the thing I always think about. So that's why I stay alone, stay away from all those type of scenarios where, you know, my cousins, my uncles, bro, they'll mastermind the whole playbook in that situation. Have that person giving you this thing, having that person access to that. They'll be using everybody. You know what I mean? Manipulating the whole process. They don't care what kind of background they got unless they have to get them. You know what I mean? But like, you know, I'm not even doing none of that, man. They look at me like, oh, I thought it's Ohana in here. Like, hell nah. You know what I mean? I don't vouch for you. That's what I'm doing. You know? But I'm keeping all the nonsense away. You know what I mean? Because people do try to manipulate, try to like, you know, it's like a manipulation, oppression, trying to test a temperature in a weak ass way, and I can see it from a mile away. So I'm looking at them going, slide back, dog. Ain't nobody need to know you exist, homie. I don't even care.